There was absolutely nothing I wanted to play on that.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's RZX with Captain Turbo back again for part 2 Crash Bandicoot. We took care of the first boss, and we're now going to move on to the second part of the first island.
Wait, I didn't know this was co-op.
Hey, maybe it is.
Yeah, probably. But thankfully we're still in the easy section of the game so far.
Yeah, it's like this level gave me a little bit of trouble, but I think it was just because I wasn't doing very well with timing. But it didn't take me too long to do this one. Like, with this, I was trying to prevent them from hitting the TNT boxes, then I run into the TNT box.
Yeah, unfortunately, actually we haven't talked about the invincibility or anything, so... Yeah, you need 3 Aku... Is it Aku? Something like that?
Yeah, I believe it's Aku. I'm sure. If it isn't, then it's and that's the one from Crash 3. Then I'm gonna feel like
no,
an
that's
idiot.
Uka.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely Uka, so I think it's Aku for the good one.
It's Aku.
Yeah. Obviously, you need 3 of those to go invincible for a short amount of time.
Yeah, I'm just it's some of these things because I haven't played Crash in quite a while when I actually did this, so just trying to get all my memories back of it took a while. It's why I'm kind of rusty throughout this game.
Yeah, believe me, I had the exact same issue when I recorded it.
But yeah, again, I just think, you know, Crash 1, I appreciate what it did. There was a lot that it did right, but also quite a bit it did kind of wrong as well. But you know, it was the first game that was meant to be a trilogy anyway, so I'm willing to forgive it for that anyways, because again, it's an early 3D platformer title, so you don't want to be too critical on it.
Plus, it was one of Naughty Dog's earlier games as well.
Yeah, and as well, I just kind of cut out as well with the loading is just the parts where it prompts me to save the game, because well, there's no need to see that. It's nothing special. It's just like I kind of wanted to cut that stuff out because sometimes if you leave you know too many deaths in or all this other stuff, it really drags the video on for too long, and I feel that you lose a lot of interest in viewers because if it just goes on and on and on and very little progress is being made, it just kind of wants to turn people away.
Well, especially if you haven't got anything like good commentary going, I suppose.
Okay, this is one of my... I'm going to say that right now. I love this level.
I do like the concept. I prefer it how they handle it in Crash 2 and 3. I do like this level. And I love the music as well.
Yeah, this is one of the better tracks in the game, in my opinion. But yeah, the only thing that held this game back... not this game, but the level back is just the handling. It's like, you have to be a little bit too precise with it or fast enough. But once you get it down, it pretty much becomes pretty easy. Like some of these I had to I practiced before I recorded, so this is actually somewhat spliced up. This run that I did through, I got so down, I got in the way this level was down so well that I didn't even get hit for this run. And I was almost perfect, but I just missed that one box to prevent it from getting a perfect run. I was like, God damn.
Which would have gotten him a gem, by the way. Yeah,
it doesn't matter though. I'm not too worried about everything because
don't bother with it in this game. Like we said in part 1, the special ending just isn't worth it because it's not canon.
No, it's okay. Native Fortress. This is I don't even want to call it Native Fortress. I just want to call it Hatred Fortress.
Boo! Bad pun.
Yeah, I know. But this level is just so bad. The problem with it is just that. This level has way too many bad hit collision detection areas, to the tribesmen being even worse, and the fact that the level just kind of drags on a bit too long.
That stays its welcome.
Like I wouldn't say it's the worst offender for levels dragging on because there are worse.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But this one, for such an early point in the game, it should not have been this long.
It's these sections as well that really annoyed me when I used to play it when I was younger. Having to constantly spin those logs around and missing my jumps and then they turn back around. Oh my god, it just used to give me such a headache.
Oh, don't get me started with that. I was struggling even then, but they weren't the worst case. We'll get to that when it happens.
Oh no. There's only 3 of them, that there's about 7 or 8 around.
Yeah.
And the monkey.
In the later levels, it just gets ridiculous. Yeah. There wasn't... Those kind of falling things, they never really gave me that much trouble. There was only a couple times when detection on them was a bit off.
Yeah, they've got a predictable pattern anyway, so...
Yeah, it's like, you get it down, so it's like, whatever.
You got plenty of time.
Yep.
And I think we're actually coming up to another one. Oh, we would have been.
I don't know if I think I did cut out a couple attempts there, but if you see my lives go down, it's because I was not doing very well.
Yeah. Try and hide your incompetence and can't edit it properly.
Well, the thing is, with some Let's Players, they don't like it when parts go excessively long.
Yeah,
and so many
I'm
deaths.
just playing.
It's very just. I just know for a fact it's just very discouraged.
It is actually possible to get all those boxes before the TNT goes off, but it's not easily done.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't want to take the risk.
Oh, got another one of these sections.
Well, at least before I do that, I get the bonus. I actually died a couple times on the bonus, not because I couldn't get the timing down on these, but because the D-pad for that 360 controller. Ugh. Who was at Microsoft back in, what was it, 2005, when they decided to go with that design? It's just it's a dreadful D-pad.
Yeah.
It's just...
To be fair, I don't really think I can't actually, looking at my Xbox collection now, I don't think any of my games would require the D-pad for it.
Most games don't.
Like I said, obviously when you use it for like an emulator and stuff, you obviously will use the D-pad more, but like I said, for the actual 360 games, I don't think I've ever once used it, so...
No one wants to use it, it's the thing. It's only really useful for like menu navigation, and that's about it.
I should point out that I do actually use the D-pad every time we do a race, though.
Well, mostly because it's the older games, and those don't really have analog support. This game doesn't either, but...
So yeah, I'm kind of used
yeah,
to the D-pad now.
Me getting hints of that tribesman there happened a lot, like that particular one.
I definitely said this level is where things start to get a little bit more unfair at times.
Yeah, that I wasn't paying attention very well.
I do like the death animations.
Just look at my lives now. I only have 2 left. I went from having like, because the thing is, I didn't want to have to wait way too long on this, so I'd use like a little, as much though I know I can understand why it's discouraged, and I understand. Believe me, I'm not one to usually do it either. He would have to use like a cheat just to get me some lives back for levels, because I didn't want to take like a million tries getting like 10,000 game overs.
Yeah, well, there is a password system in this game, so...
That is true. I did use that later on.
What, to unlock everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big code.
I didn't do it to unlock everything, I just did it to get up to the point where I last was at. And yeah, I don't know how I got around that little hut area and falling without dying. There's a little safe spot. And then there's me just not being careless.
I'm gonna ask, how long did the first... well, how long did this level actually take you during the recording process then?
Ugh, too long. I'd say roughly 45 minutes to an hour.
Shit.
I'm bad at this game. I using this game with the 360 D-pad is literally the worst thing you could do.
Yeah,
and yet I told myself to just keep going with it when I should have just switched to my DualShock 3. I do plan for my birthday comes around in March. If I get any birthday money, I'll just go and buy a DualShock 4, because that's a really good controller.
Well, at least you know now for future reference not to use the 360 D-pad for this game.
No. Or in fact, use it really for any game, because I'm just so sick of the way it feels and how much of...
And there we go. That's the reason I can't stand these sections.
Yeah. Not only did I fall, I threw a life away when there was 4 of them there.
At least you can pick up the 4 again. Oh.
It's just...
It's hard to watch.
It is hard to watch. It's hard to look back at myself watching this and realize, did I really do this bad?
And you're gonna screw up here because you can't get that last one. Oh, you did get it. I thought you wouldn't have
Yeah,
enough time.
I managed to save myself a bit there.
Didn't think you'd have enough time with that last one.
Thankfully, I did manage to get that without falling, and as well as the finish platform. Because
thankfully, you won't die if you fall all the way down. There's no fall damage in this game.
Anyway, second island now. Hooray! This is up the creek. This one's alright.
Actually pretty easy in comparison to the last level.
Yeah, in comparison to a Hatred Fortress, this is a lot better. I did die a few times, but that's only because of stupidity reasons. But again, I'm just way more familiar with how Crash 2 and 3 feels compared to Crash 1.
I honestly think the recording curse is real because every time every time someone records something for their channel, everyone seems to have a big screw up moment.
It's kind of like the case of when you're doing LPs. It's just like you're on the. It's like usually most people, if they're just generally playing it, can usually do pretty well, but then you have to record it and you're on the spot, and it's like for some reason you have like all this weird pressure put on you.
Try doing commentary at the same time that you're recording.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. It wasn't hard with Demo Racer though, because I'm extremely familiar with that game, and well, when I got to the Endurance League for Part 5 with the Destroyer, which was the SUV, I don't know what it was based off of. I'm trying to remember, but I don't. That was. I had never had a run that was that good in that game before. And the fact that I was doing it on commentary was just ridiculous. Like if you watch Part 5, there's like one level, I think it was Scrap Heap, that I got like 2 Death from Aboves, which is like the best thing you can get in the game for points. Oh. Yeah, I forgot he could do that. There's like 2 Death from Aboves, which is the best thing you can get, because that gets you 500 points, which is a lot. And I got that twice. And then I already got several hits on people. I finished that level with like over 50,000 points when I finished first, because there's a multiplier depending on where you finish, and first place is a 25 times multiplier. So 50,000 points was just ridiculous. I'd never gotten that high before in the game, so I was really glad to get that on footage.
But going back to actually recording, what is it you actually prefer doing then, live or post commentary?
I really have no preference, really. I don't mind if I do live or post, because it's usually in most cases though that some of the live games you can just you know, edit out stuff that either isn't working or you're stuck on or just isn't funny. Like
I said, I think with live commentary you get more true emotions. Like if you get really pissed off, it's going to show, and it's actually funnier that way. But with post commentary, that you can actually edit around your deaths and stuff, so it's basically one or the other.
Yeah, like with post commentary, you're just watching back what you did, so you're more relaxed and you're more just, you know, chill about it. And then whereas with live commentary, you're doing it right on the spot as it's happening.
Yeah, you can get seriously some pretty funny moments from that. I mean, I've screamed at the TV, I've threatened it and everything. It's actually pretty funny watching live stuff.
And that's why it's so popular.
But like I said, I can understand doing post-com as well, because it's just easier around editing and stuff, and you can have other people along like this, so...
Yeah, as well. You gain a lot of benefits from doing what you're best at. Some people are just better at post-commentary, like one guy I watch a lot, the Great Clement.
Oh yeah, I watch him.
He just does all like post-commentary stuff most of the times, because it's probably because it plays to his strengths better anyways. So.
And then he says digress a lot.
Yeah, as I pointed out once in a video, it's like, I think it was like the first part of Sonic Riders, I said they should, I think I posted a comment like, we should all make a drinking game for whenever Clement says, but I digress.
And another level done. And second boss.
Ripperoo. I don't mind this boss very much. It's just that the timing is, you gotta get it down.
Well, he's always going to follow the same
The only
pattern.
thing
It's
is
basically just a waiting game, really.
Yeah. The only thing with it, and that was which caused most of my deaths, was just making sure I actually land on the platform.
It's one of those depth perceptive problems that the game actually suffers from.
Yeah. But yeah, like I just stayed in this spot because Ripperoo only goes in the same 3 areas, so you can just use it to your advantage. I timed the first one bad, but this one I get. But yeah, Ripperoo is always out of all the bosses that they, or at least boss characters that they always had in Crash games, Ripperoo was always my favorite, even as a kid.
He's He's enjoyable. He's just kind of completely bonkers, but
That's why I liked him. I just liked like a character that was just flat out ridiculous.
I think he's the only one from this this game that returns in the second one, isn't he? Apart from obviously the main boss.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
never really considered that.
I think him and Cortex are the only two that actually return for the sequel.
Yeah, and but then after that, of course, Cortex's voice gets a lot better. Oh shit, time. Anyway, stay tuned for part 3 on YouTube and GamingMoney1.com. Take care. Whoa.
Later.